Finance Minister Pranab Mukherjee has got down to business soon after taking office and has spelt out his agenda for the Indian economy. The UPA government's plan includes a push for reforms in the financial sector and stimulation of economic growth by stepping up public expenditure. To discuss the Finance Minister's agenda, I have with me Mint's Deputy Managing Editor Anil Padmanabhan. Welcome, Anil. Now, he seems to have got off, he seems to be hitting the ground running. Let's first hear his bite, what he's saying.
We are assessing the impact of 3 doses of economic stimulus we announced in December, in January, and in the interim budget which I presented. Sustained stimulus to growth can be harnessed by the next round of economic reforms.
So what's he suggesting? No more stimuli?
He is clearly indicating that there is no stimulus. Also admitting in the process that he is running out of fiscal room to push up demand in the system through increased government spending. But I think the larger point he's making here that he is now going to concentrate more and more in pushing the economic reforms in this country, which will make the country more efficient and thereby generate the desired momentum of growth in the economy.
So we should now expect a lot of reforms coming through?
I definitely think he's going to make the noises in that direction in this budget. It's going to be a big bang in terms of a reforms agenda. But in terms of execution, I suspect it will be staggered over the next 5 years.
Let's hear him more on what he has to say.
Let me say unambiguously that we are committed to restoring growth and employment, and that would not have been possible without increased spending funded by incremental borrowing. This would need to be further continued in 2009-10. That is the current year. However, we are equally committed to the process of fiscal consolidation over a period of next 2 to 3 years.
So you heard him, he's suggesting both growth and fiscal prudence. Is there any contradiction in that?
Not really. He is signaling his intent that he wants to return to fiscal prudence, which is a good thing to say because everybody wants to hear that. The actual point is, I doubt if he's going to get to the practice of that fiscal prudence. He will defer it, he will make his statement of intent very clear and probably come back to it to fix it next year, because at this point pursuing fiscal prudence when you're looking to inject demand in the system is not really what policies requires.
So obviously we would see a large fiscal deficit this year.
Definitely, he's conceded that. And everywhere, world over, every government is stimulating demand through excess government spending. So I think this is a point at which policy planners have decided that you got to spend more and generate demand rather than pursue fiscal prudence at this phase.
So I think he also has a message for the bankers. Let's look at that first.
One of the first steps I propose to take is to meet the bankers and get them committed to a more benign plan of action. The government has the opportunity to present its vision and approach for the next 5 years in the forthcoming budget.
So benign plan of action, what is that? What is the underlining? What is the message for the bankers?
I think it will be anything but benign. He is probably going to in no uncertain terms beginning with the public sector banks that they have to begin lending. But definitely the risks in the economy are declining, and we are seeing working capital, rather commercial bank loans for working capital incrementally on a week-on-week basis growing gradually. He wants to fast-track that process, but I think he's looking even longer term, looking at these long gestation projects, particularly in infrastructure, which are really struggling for funds at this point of time. So it will be a kind of twin message, but in no uncertain terms it will be harsh.
Let's look at one more message from Pranab.
I have no hesitation in saying that along with reviving the momentum of growth and employment creation, our government will strengthen the various inclusive elements in the coming budget.
Are we now seeing acutely political finance minister?
Actually, Srini, since 1991, since Manmohan Singh was the finance minister, we have never had an apolitical finance minister. But this man is different because he's a consummate politician. He's been a politician for most of his 73 years, and he has seen every form of governance.
And this time he has come elected also.
Second time.
Second time, yeah.
So clearly he is consummate to the art of politics, and you are going to see an increasing use of this art and craft in his governance. So whether it's his message in this press conference today or in his message in the budget, which is going to come up very soon in about 8 weeks, he is going to have a strong political undertone to every statement that he makes.
So is there a lesson which you think UP has learned, that it's not just that you do reforms, you need to constantly talk about it?
Distinctly. Since 1995, when they lost the elections in 1996,
they seem to be acutely aware of this.
Definitely. They have learned their lessons, and now it is reforms with a social face. So the thrust of all their conversation is common man. Even their justification of growth is based on the argument that unless we grow fast, you don't generate the resources to spend for social.
So it's going to be very interesting looking at finance ministry now onwards, do you expect?
In terms of policy? Definitely, because you are looking at government which is trying to bring this country out of an economic hole, which the rest of the world too is locked in at this point of time. So you're going to see kind of out-of-the-box thinking from this government, and particularly this finance minister.
Thanks, Anil. For more news and updates, keep logging on to www.livemin.com. Thank you.